What's up, sports fans? Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the lives and careers of the greatest warriors in the world of sports. Today, we're going to talk about someone truly special, a fighter who has proven that discipline, confidence, and relentless hard work can take you all the way to the very top. A man who has conquered the UFC, who is still writing his story, but whose journey is already legendary. Today, we're talking about Ilia Topuria, the Matador, undefeated, unstoppable, and the pride of both Spain and Georgia. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and ring the notification bell, because you don't want to miss any of these epic stories. Now, sit back and get ready, because this is a journey full of sweat, sacrifice, and history in the making. Ilia was born on January 21, 1997, in Halle, Germany, into a Georgian family who had moved abroad searching for a better life. Being born in Germany while carrying the roots, traditions, and spirit of Georgia gave him a unique perspective from the very beginning. Life wasn't easy for his family. They had to adapt to a new language, a new culture, and the daily grind of building a stable future while staying true to their Georgian heritage. Those roots, that sense of discipline, and that fighting spirit filled the young Ilia's life, shaping him in ways that would later define his career. Soon, the family returned to Georgia, and it was there that Ilia grew up surrounded by a culture of combat. Wrestling, judo, and sambo weren't just sports, they were a way of life. Georgia has always produced great fighters, and Ilia soaked in that environment, learning the value of endurance, strength, and determination from a very young age. Even as a child, he was competitive, restless, and driven, always testing himself against others and pushing his limits. The seeds of a champion were already being planted. In 2012, at the age of 15, life threw Ilia another curveball. His family moved to Spain, specifically to Alicante. For a teenager, this meant a completely new language, new culture, new friends, and a need to start over. Many would have struggled, but Ilia saw opportunity. It was in Spain that he discovered the Climate Club, a small but passionate gym run by the Climate brothers. There, Ilia trained in judo, wrestling, boxing, and eventually Brazilian jiu-jitsu. What set him apart was not just his natural talent, but his work ethic. While other teenagers relaxed or hung out with friends, Ilia was in the gym for hours, repeating techniques, perfecting his striking, sharpening his grappling, asking questions, absorbing every bit of knowledge he could. His focus and discipline were unmatched, and the foundation of a champion was being built. It didn't take long for Ilia to start competing. He began in local grappling and amateur MMA tournaments, and quickly proved he was no ordinary fighter. His technique, precision, and ability to read opponents allowed him to dominate the competition. By 2015, at only 18 years old, Ilia made his professional MMA debut. From that very first fight, he showed that he wasn't there to participate, he was there to win decisively. Knockouts, submissions, finishes before the final bell, he left his opponents and audiences stunned. That was the spark that ignited a career destined for greatness. Over the next several years, Ilia built a name for himself across Europe, fighting in various organizations and excelling in each one. His time in Cage Warriors, Europe's premier platform for UFC-bound fighters, cemented him as a serious contender. He won fight after fight, often finishing his opponents decisively, refining his striking, grappling, and endurance, all while maintaining his undefeated streak. The media began to notice, fans followed his every move, and UFC scouts were paying close attention. Ilia Topuria was ready for the biggest stage in the world. That moment arrived in 2020 when Ilia made his UFC debut against Youssef Zalal. Zalal was known for his cardio and resilience, and many thought this would be a tough first test. But Ilia was calm, precise, and in full control. He dominated the fight from the start, maintained the pace, avoided mistakes, and earned a unanimous decision victory. The world began to realize that a star had been born, a fighter with talent, focus, and an unshakable confidence. From there, Ilia's rise was meteoric. He faced Damon Jackson, a grappling specialist, and ended the fight with a first-round knockout. Then came Ryan Hall, a dangerous leg-lock expert. Many considered Hall a real threat, yet Ilia dismantled him in the opening round. Next was Jay Herbert, who landed hard shots early in the fight and seemed to push Ilia to the edge. But Ilia endured, recovered, and landed a crushing hook to the body that finished the fight in spectacular fashion. Then came Bryce Mitchell, undefeated and a top grappler, yet Ilia controlled the fight completely, finishing him with a submission and preserving his undefeated record, solidifying his reputation as an unstoppable force. In 2024, the pinnacle arrived, a title fight against Alexander Volkanovski, one of the best featherweight champions of all time, who had defeated Jose Aldo, Max Holloway, and Brian Ortega. Many doubted Ilia was ready to face a champion of this caliber, but he was confident as ever. In the second round, he landed a perfect right hand that sent Volkanovski to the canvas and claimed the UFC featherweight championship. Fans in Spain and Georgia erupted in celebration, witnessing history firsthand. But being a champion is just the beginning. Ilia's first title defense came against Max Holloway, a legendary former champion with incredible endurance and volume striking. Holloway had never been knocked out, ever. The fight was intense, but Ilia remained composed. In the second round, a perfectly timed punch ended Holloway's streak and demonstrated that Topuria was truly at the top of his division. Not content with just one belt, Ilia moved up to lightweight to face Charles Oliveira, former champion and holder of the most submissions in UFC history. Oliveira was a dangerous, versatile opponent, but Ilia showcased his skill and strategy, defending takedowns, avoiding submissions, and in the first round, landed a combination that sent Oliveira to the canvas. With that victory, Ilia became a WFC champion, undefeated, and cemented his status as one of the most feared fighters in the world. Today, Ilia Topuria is more than a champion. He is a symbol of discipline, sacrifice, and absolute confidence. He represents Spain and Georgia and shows that dreams pursued with relentless determination can become reality. At just 27 years old, he is already a double champion, undefeated, and his story is still unfolding. How many more belts will he win? How far will he go? All we know for sure is that every time he steps into the octagon, the MMA world changes, and we are witnessing the birth of a true legend. And there you have it, sports fans, the story of Ilia Topuria, the boy who started training in a small gym in Alicante and became a WFC champion, undefeated and feared by all. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, ring the bell, and leave in the comments which athlete you want us to cover next. We'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned.